Van Gundy, Reggie Bullock, along with Tobias Harris, Andre Drummond in the middle after a one-game absence. Avery
in Game 4 this season after Joe dropped 30 points in the Sixers' victory, and he proclaimed that Andre didn't play any defense.
Back on October 23rd after losing their first 3 of the season. And we are running tonight, the second in what is technically 4 straight at home. Their next game, they'll be the home team in London against Boston. It's Detroit.
Came over from Orlando and took him a little while to feel his way through. Nice move.
Downstairs to the weight room. And aggressive to get 500 victories. Simmons now with a 6-7 Bullock on him. It's a 3 from Saric to Joel Embiid, averaging 8.5 boards per game. So the Sixers, after giving up the first 2 points, now have their 4th straight win after a tough 2-10 stretch. At one point, they were 13-9. Now trying Joel Embiid's footsteps.
Nice look.
Indeed, by Simmons. That's got O'Connell for the first time in for J.J. Redick. Simmons, I dare say, the Sixers right now in the midst of a 15-0 push. Here is Harris, and he gets
off the glass.
How about the trade by the Pistons? Get him from Orlando as Simmons definitely.
Speculation as to whether or not he was a good pickup because he signed his big multi-year deal in Orlando. Pistons will.
And Jared Bayless on the floor for the first time. Ish Smith getting all the way to the cup mixer. Getting paid by the Pistons. Simmons, a gorgeous move and finish.
Chris was anticipating that double team coming. No need to foul and bail him out.
First on him, first on the team. They point out with a sprained right ankle. Simmons had time to help from Harris. Bayless thought he had a swing. Nobody there stationed in the corner. That'll be a goalless defensively.
Another big show. First by Joel, that time by Amir.
Bullock is for 3, and down it goes throughout his 5-year NBA career. He's finally getting some regular playing time now with the Pistons. Their share of injuries. Stanley Johnson among those hurt as is on the floor for the first time. Avery Bradley to the bench.
Dominantly a G League player, 5 years out of college.
Nice speed. Redick. Detroit.
Good movement. That's a shot that JJ makes.
Joel Embiid saying no to Dwight Bikes. Redick the naked 3 and 1. That's why you jacket there.
Yeah, and also Bullock, he feels like got a little contact on him on the way down as well. Referee's not calling it.
Mismatch here with the 6'3 Dwight Bikes. And as he takes him, he is fouled. If he truly was in the first quarter.
I'd like to mix in the assist too.
Boy, is he ever, but in that last time out, Brett Brown clearly pleased with the entire group with only 2 fouls in that.
Veteran, good outside shooter on the floor for the first time.
No
Saric, a gorgeous fake on him, but unfinished business with a left hand. Luau Cabarro.
Did well recently, Mr. Galloway. They need all of that with the absence of Jackson.
Embiid.
Have you ever had sore ribs? Not fun. Not fun. Tough to breathe, tough to take deep breaths, and if you get hit in it, God forbid.
Bobby Jones used to say, man, why are you so vicious out there? We only practice it, and I think, play with a high level of intensity.
Iculin is Dr. J. Still nowadays one of those guys that not only did you follow on the court, but off the court.
Did you have a Dr. J poster in your room?
From the 6th grade all the way until I graduated high school. I saw it first thing in the morning and the last thing before I went to bed.
Of the Clippers. Amir Johnson nearly tied up Ish Smith. The Sixers get the turnover anyway. Saric, the Euro step. And the 6th seed, by the way, the Pistons. But you know what? So many teams are bunched up right now, they might as well be the 4th seed.
No, but I sit corrected. Appreciate the clarification there. Just a matter of a couple days ago, they were the 4th seed.
Jared. Sixers will be the home team taking on the Boston Celtics.
Get home from school early. Call a half a day.
Right, it is his shooting hand, quote unquote. But when you talk with Ben about which is your dominant hand, he literally says,
but you'd be okay with Robert shooting that from that position.
It's one of the reasons why he's there. Yep. Simmons, great hustle, kept it alive, cruising in and slamming for 2. Redick for 3.
And and really taught him how to be a pro. And he said having Luke Kennard there, that bodes well for Luke because he's going to teach him.
In a 12-game stretch, and they clearly left that behind. They're looking for their 4th straight win tonight, barring anything catastrophic. Detroit score.
Now, I would have said about 5 minutes ago that you'd be hearing from Detroit, but I'm not sure.
This on to the Kupo and LeBron James, and the top 3 will be starting.
Roberts got to get him the ball quicker. He had a deep post.
Gets the first Detroit point of the 3rd quarter.
Great shot blocking team, so that doesn't deter guys like Ben being able to get all the way to the rim, even with Drummond there. Like that.
Ben Simmons. And the Sixers are fresh 24. Redick, nice spot of Covington. You know what? That's Jayton. Covington, his first points of the game, comes in averaging 14.
Talking about
Is Smith along with Avery Bradley in the backcourt for Detroit. That's the amount. Saric. His attempt for Embiid interrupted by Ish Smith. Bullock had it blocked by Simmons, his 2nd snuff of the game. Harris for a 3, getting on track. He's got a dozen. Drummond with the steal. Simmons tracking him. Covington thinking 3. Saric, he'll try it. And down and pushed by Detroit.
Trying to rush, but they were also very patient. Got the shot they wanted. Good ball movement until they got the open man.
Redick, a slipping Saric, Covington for 3. Yes! Well, I guess because the official says it's not a reach. Ben.
Offensive set for Robert. They knew they were coming to him. He was ready with his hands. The Pistons didn't know what they wanted to do on offense, and then the Sixers not fouling anybody and allowing that shot to go off.
Could be as long as the All-Star break, which is mid-February. Redick, that's for 2, and down. Continue to blow this game wide open. They're up 39 points for the first time. And Embiid,
not many positives you can glean from a tape like this.
It is the largest fought his way into the league. Cups of coffee with Toronto, the Lakers.
This is not the same team without Reggie Jackson. I think that's the bottom line. Home a W for the Pistons tonight. However, you could just tell watching them play, having seen them earlier on in the season, they don't run their sets like they're.
Sixers, the big ticket item for them tonight, their 3-point shooting. They made 11 threes. And that's
thinking about this 37 or 36 point lead. You're thinking about 0-0, win every possession. That's what you're.
Johnson, nice spot on McConnell, returning the favor to Amir Johnson. McAdoo got his championship ring. He scored a bucket in the game as fights
to Coach Van Gundy.
Listen, Nick Stauskas didn't get much playing time here. That's McAdoo for 3, and he hits tough. Molly, we thank you so much. It's been coined the Ben and Joe show. That's going to lead for the Sixers, leading by as many as 40. And now we're hitting the halfway point of the 4th.
I have thoroughly do its thing. It's been that much fun. Popular Dominican players.
Missed it. We're going to see a game in London at the O2 Arena. That game's been sold out for months.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Wow, Cabarrot for 3, and that has to help. This isn't tough enough for the Pistons. Tomorrow they have to go home and play Houston.
Right. Who do we talk to about?
The Sixers will take the season series from Detroit. And that might not excite you initially, but
keep playing. Keep playing. These minutes are as important to you as the starters' minutes are to them.
Wow, Cabarrot, another 3. Well done.
Indeed, you do whatever you got to do to feel better about your game.
Team mark for the first time since they were 14 and 14. They are 19 and 19, and they are also